Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, there are a few people out there today who can be absolutely thankful they're having a better day than they almost had, because today is a day of rescues at sea. Our first story involves the carnival Mardi Gras and a ship rescue about 9 miles off the coast of the Bahamas. Now, normally when we hear of a cruise ship making a rescue, it's from, people trying to make it to the United States, trying to escape their home, something along those lines. In this case, it was a pleasure boat, a sailboat got into trouble, and the Coast Guard sent out an emergency signal, and by law, all cruise ships or any vessel really in the vicinity are supposed to answer the call if they can. And this was the case for the Mardi Gras. They were a short distance away. They headed over in that direction, lowered down a lifeboat, and ended up rescuing a couple at sea. Now, the couple at sea, it's not known if it was the sailboat right now that was really what was in trouble, or if it was a medical emergency on board the sailboat, but both passengers were admitted into hospital on top of the ship once they arrived there and are being looked after by the medical team. So it just goes to show, everywhere you look when you're on a cruise, people think, oh, I'm in the middle of the ocean. If something happens, there's nobody around. But if you actually take a look at the shipping lanes and the pleasure boats and the cruise ships and the tanker ship, there are ships everywhere almost, except in the deepest parts of the ocean. And even then, there's shipping lanes going across that the ships normally take. There are other ships, there are other ways to be rescued than just being stuck in the middle of the ocean, which, quite frankly, I'm quite glad to know in my case. Well, also, we have another case of a person going overboard. This time it was on the Mariner of the Seas, Royal Caribbean. And this happened about, I believe it was about 20 miles just off the coast of Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. And she fell from the 10th deck of the ship. She apparently was immediately noticed. The cruise ship stopped, and it was, even though they sent out a message to the Coast Guard and things like that, they were the ones that did the immediate rescue. Now, the lady was noticed, and how long do you think the lady was in the water before she was rescued? Now, remember, a ship has to stop. It can't lower a lifeboat into the water. It can throw the buoys over, it can shoot an emergency raft into the water, but it can't actually lower a rescue boat until it comes to a full stop. It wouldn't work. So how long do you think she was in the water, even though they noticed it right away? She was in the water 45 minutes. So that gives you a pretty good idea of just how long it can take to rescue somebody at sea. Now remember, these were fairly calm seas, warm waters as well, and the lady was rescued during the day, it seems, out there. So she got very, very lucky. It's a lot warmer right now in the Caribbean waters than, say, had you fallen overboard in Alaska or off the coast of Norway or anywhere where it's colder right now than in the Caribbean. Lasting 45 minutes in cold water is a virtual impossibility. So this lady can really, really count her lucky stars. Only about 25% are ever rescued, no matter what the reason for falling off a cruise ship. And so that's two stories of two people, a couple and a 42-year-old woman who can really count their lucky stars that they are still here today because of the quick action and the cruise ship crews performing the rescue. Now, I know the first question on people's mind is going to be for the lady, how did she fall overboard? No story right now out there really knows the details. They're not being released. They're obviously dealing with the family and friends and the lady herself on board. Usually in this case, they are escorted off the ship at the next port. We will see what happens. If that is the case, it is often because they felt that this was possibly intentional and wanted to do self-harm. And they will also report this to the authorities when they arrive in the port, so the authorities can take over as well to make sure this person doesn't do anything to harm themselves. However, we don't know if that was the case. This could be another case of like the last time a woman went overboard on the Royal Caribbean ship who was taking a selfie and foolishly fell off the ship. You never know. This could be exactly that same scenario. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.